G'day guys, my name's Dave and welcome to another Guitar Zero to Hero song tutorial. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you how to play Come As You Are by Nirvana, which is an awesome track. Now, for the basics of this song, you will need your guitar in D standard. So what that means is that every single string will be detuned down 2 semitones. So your low E string will go down to a D, A string will go down to a G, D will go down to a C, G string will go down to an F, B string will go down to A, and high E string will go down to a D. And that's D standard tuning. In terms of tone, everything in this lesson is recorded with the Boss Katana 100 Mark II. If you want those Katana tone patches, I'll leave a link to them in the description below. The guitar I'm using in this video is the Fender Player Plus Meteora. Now, if you want to master your chords back to front, then be sure to head over to guitarzerotohero.com to pick up my free guitar ebook. Or if you want to improve in your guitar in general, then sign up to GZ2H Premium, which is my complete step-by-step guitar course. All right, let's jump into the lesson. Okay, so let's start with the main riff, which is a lot of fun to play and is really iconic. So there's just 2 bars of tab here. This is the main riff section. We have a few lead-in notes as well to start the song off, but I'll get to that later. In terms of tone, I just have a clean amp channel and I'm using a chorus pedal on this as well. And I'm using my bridge pickup of my guitar. So we have our middle finger here on the 2nd fret of the 6th string. We're gonna pluck that, hold that out for 1 beat. On the 2 beat, we'll pluck the 5th string. So that's the open 5th string. Keep our middle finger here. We're gonna hit the 6th string again, back to the 5th string, and then the 6th string twice, and then down to the 1st fret. So that bar in total. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... With my picking direction, I'm just doing all down strokes. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... For the next bar, we just need to put our middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string now. We start with 4 plucks here, so it's open 6th string, 5th string, and 6th string twice. So 1 and 2 and... And then to end this, we have 3 plucks, so back to the 5th string, back to the 6th string, and then with our index finger, 1st fret of the 6th string. The 2nd bar in total. And the whole riff in total. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and repeat it again and again on a loop. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So now that we've got the main riff down, let's talk about the lead-in notes. So these lead-in notes occur at the start of this song and it takes us into the main riff. And it's really nice and simple. There's just 3 plucks here. So I'm gonna hit the open 6th string twice and then the 1st fret of the 6th string. And that's it for the lead-in, just 3 plucks. Now these are plucked at 8th notes as well, and it starts on the end beat after the 3. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... And we add that together with the main riff, and the start of our song would sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Now there is one variation to the main riff that I just taught you. And this occurs just before we get into the bridge section. Now it's pretty much the same as the main riff, except we're not playing the last 3 plucks. So for the 2nd bar, we were in this position with our middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string. What we're gonna do is actually just get into an E major position. So 1 and 2 and... Now on the end beat after the 3, we're gonna strum this E major chord with a up, down, up. And that's it for the variation. So the final time we play this riff just before we get in the bridge. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Next we get to bridge number 1, and there's just 2 lines of chords here. So we're going to start with an F sharp sus4. Now to play this, you need your middle ring and pinky finger on the 4th frets of the 5th, 4th and 3rd string, and your index finger will just bar across the 2nd fret. So that's F sharp sus4, and then we go to an A chord. So to play the A chord, you can just shift your index finger so it's barring strumming across the second frets of the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string. Keep that 1st string muted though, and you're strumming from the 5th string onwards. So that's our A. Now for our F sharp sus4, we're playing a down, down, up, down, up strumming pattern. And for our A chord, we're playing a down, up, down, up, down, up strumming pattern. So the first line of chords. Now that first line of chords is played through 3 times. And for the second line of chords, it's almost the same, except this A bar is slightly different. So that's why I've written this A with a little asterisk. So when we go to this A bar, we're going to strum the A with a down, down, down. And then we're going to play the lead-in notes that we had at the start of the song. So the open the 6th string twice, and the 1st fret of the 6th. So the final bar of the A. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. And bridge number 1 in total. So after bridge 1, we just go back into another verse. After the second verse, we have another bridge, which is very similar to bridge number 1, except it's just one line of chords here. It's just that F sharp sus4 and that A chord played through 4 times. And we have the exact same strumming patterns as well. So really simple. So after bridge 2, we have the chorus, which is where we change things up a little bit. Now, when the chorus kicks in, the guitar tones actually change as well. So what I have now is some distortions. So you can use something similar to a Boss DS1. That's what Kurt Cobain used on his guitar tones. And I also still have a little bit of chorus on this guitar tone as well. So for this chorus, we have 2 lines of chords. So we're gonna start with a B5 power chord. So it's index finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string, ring and pinky finger on the 4th frets of the 4th and 3rd strings. So that's our B5 power chord. Now when you play a power chord, your index finger should hit the root note of that power chord, but then lightly rest across all the other strings. And that way, when you strum all the strings, only the ones that are fretted are going to ring out. So don't play the power chord with your finger lifted and only hitting that root note, because then you're going to hit open strings. You want to keep that index finger flat, not pushing down because that's barring. You just want to lightly touch all the other strings. So that's B5, and then we have a D5. So it's the same shape, just up at 5th and 7th frets. We're going to be strumming at 8th notes with all down strums. So the first line of chords. 1, 2, and 3. That's the first line of chords repeated through 3 times. And then for our second line of chords, our D5 has another asterisk there, which means we have a slight variation. So when we hit this D5, we're just going to strum it 4 times. 1, 2, and then we'll play the lead-in riff. So, and that's it for chorus 1, which sounds like this. After the first chorus, we get into this solo section. Now, from the rhythm point of view, one guitar is just playing the main riff again and again. So that is repeated again and again in the background whilst the second guitar is playing the solo. Now, in terms of tone for the solo, I'm basically just using, again, a distortion and a chorus, but this time the chorus is a lot more prominent in this particular tone. So this is one line of tab here for the solo. So we start off with the lead-in note. It's on the 6th fret of the 3rd string, and we're going to hit that on the end beat after the 3. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So that's the lead-in note, and now we get to the main portion of the solo. So we're going to hit that 6th fret again, and then go up to 9th fret. We'll hit the 11th fret, hold that out, and then slide down to the 6th fret. So that first bar. So the second bar's identical. Now the third bar is almost the same, but when we get up to the 11th fret, we're not gonna hit it and slide, we're gonna hit it once, and then hit it again, but have your index finger on the 9th fret of the second string. We're gonna bend up that third string, a full tone, and then you can release that, and then the final bar, hit the 11th fret, and then 9th fret, and then slide back down to the 6th. So in total for these 4 bars, and we just repeat that through 4 times, and that's it for the solo. Now remember that lead-in note at the start is separate from the main section, so that just takes us into the solo. I'll play one pass through of the main section, including the lead-in. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And the final section of the song to learn is chorus number 2, which is basically exactly the same as chorus number 1, except that first line of chords is played through 5 times and not 3 times. After the second chorus, we go back into the main riff, which is basically our outro. And at the very end of the song, we end with one last chord, which is the F sharp sus7. So it's almost the same as our F sharp sus4, except we have our index finger lifted so that the first and second strings are ringing out like that. So that's our final chord. And together with the last riff, and those are all the parts to this song. So now I'll be doing a full playthrough of the song, and I'll have a vocal track on top for some context. Feel free to play this back as many times as you'd like to practice, play along to, and see how you go.
As a friend, as a
Thanks so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this lesson, then I know you'll absolutely love these other lessons too. So hit the link here, or if you want to grab a copy of my free guitar ebook, then head over to guitarzerotohero.com or click the link here. Thanks so much, and I'll see you guys next time on Guitar Zero to Hero. Cheers.